shower. How's everybody doing today? Let me just brush my hair. Today's tea. Now, I've had to take down this calendar because all the tea bags keep falling apart. It wasn't designed for these specific tea bags. I didn't bring the bag with me. Today's tea is honey linden. And instead of honey, I actually put peach juice in it. So let's give it a shot. Well, that's not bad at all. I've taped, if you're going to, before you ask, I've taped a piece of aloe vera to that burn with some Band-Aids because in my sleep it got rubbed. Hang on a second. Somebody wants her 15 minutes of fame. Oh, my goodness. She's a mommy darling, she's a mommy girl. She's her mommy sweetheart, the best girl in the world. And her mommy loves her oh so much. But she's her mommy sweetheart. She still wants to be in the cleavage. She's her mommy's girl. She's her mommy's darling. Big, deep breath. Breathe, my pasty friend. The best girl in the world. Yeah, tell everybody how good you got it. Give them that look. Tell them how, yeah, my mommy loves me. Give me a kiss. Bugger off. I love you. Go lay down in front of the fire. Go lay down in front of the fire. Oh, see, Mom. Oh, Mom, you know, I had a little bit of a moment yesterday when I looked up the life expectancy of boxers. I always thought it was 9 to 12 years. Apparently it's 7 to 10, and she's 7 in February. So it's like, you know, hey, how's it going? So I've had to take down the calendar. So maybe next week I will make a new one. I know Christmas is next weekend, but I'm going to make a new one for next year, I think. Today is my birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Everybody, happy birthday, sweet Robin Rose. Happy birthday to you, and many more. I brought 2 cups of tea today. Let me say hi to everybody. I'm on top chat. I should be on live chat. Participants. Angie! Angela Passmore. Donna Zentmeyer. Elaine, Freaky, Gigi, KB, Linda Bop. Linda, thank you very, very much for the card and the gift. It will go to good use. I'm looking at ordering myself some Yorkshire Gold tea from Amazon. Mama Diggs, Tanya, let me see. Sage, Rita, Robin's Nest, 68, Robin Rose, Tina Elliott. How's everybody doing today? I can shut my window now. I also had, like last night when I went to bed, I slept with the sheet between my body and my arm. It's only one little spot with one little break in it, but it's such an irritating spot. It's constantly getting rubbed. Oh, I just about had kittens when I opened that card. Ow, ow, ow. Hang on, I got an itchy eye. I hope I'm not getting anything crazy. So, that's not bad at all. That's not bad at all. Really, really, I'm going to roll myself something. Really busy day today. And remind me to use my fan. Howie's bringing Briar home on his way home from work today. All the decorations for the tree are in the living room. I have to make sure there's no mouse nests in them. Yeah, it's apparent like it's fairly mild right now. It's fairly mild right now, but this thing goes with everything. But apparently, let me check, because apparently we're supposed to, I said, is there a storm coming? And he goes, yeah, why? I said, I can barely walk. So hang on a second. Weather for, Quebec. It's +2 Celsius right now, which is about 38 degrees Fahrenheit, 37 degrees Fahrenheit. Snowfall warning 6 hours ago. 15 to 20 centimeters. Okay, there's my 7-day forecast. Damn. Okay. Go back. I want the 7-day forecast, because we're going to be out of here for a few days. Thursday. Well, my area is only supposed to get. I can't stand it when weather networks are. There we go. Meteor. Sorry, guys. Never mind. Howie said apparently somewhere in, where is here, Linda? Roughly. Hey, Joanne. The computer tells me we're expecting snow. 45 degrees in Phoenix. Yeah, that's about right. We spent a Christmas in Phoenix, and everybody blamed me for bringing the snow. Western Pennsylvania. So it's slicker than goose shit out, is it? Well, we're not that far from Pennsylvania and New York, eh? I hope they're... Anyway. It's above freezing here, which could mean anything. Anything. Hey, Corey, how's it going? Well, I'm not that close, but, it's a good day for soup. We had soup last night, and it was really good. I wish I had filmed it, because Howie was like, this is really good. Like, he always says, awesome, right? But he said it several times. Well, this is really good. Hey, Lacey Black, how are you, darling? Well, apparently I'm going to simmer that tongue in some salted water, like water with a bit of salt in it, and then peel it and slice it up, give it to Howie his lunch, and see what he says. Any chilly day is good for soup. Oh, I haven't taken anything out for supper. What am I? We'll do a couple of half rotisserie chickens in the crock pot. I got so much going on today. All the decorations are up from the basement. I got to put my garland up over the dining room. It's the last thing to go in the dining room. I have to put my garland up in the dining room. Then I have to sort through and organize the ornaments and the lights that are actually going to go on the tree tonight, and get them organized, because Howie's not even going to get home until 6 o'clock, 6 or 6:30, because he's got to pick Briar up in Gatineau. So, hey, Ninja Clan Kathy, 32 in PA, right on the bubble, eh? My dad's doing better. He's already talking about prosthetic for his foot. Oh, that's awesome. Now, and they've gotten all the virus out of it. Oh, I'm so glad. Hey, Yoshi Stephanie. My brother-in-law is in Brampton in Canada, and he says it's supposed to snow a lot there. Brampton is on the other side of Toronto, which is about 5 hours away. Peterborough is only an hour and a half away from Toronto. So I think that's where Peterborough is supposed to be getting hit. I heard it makes good dog treats. There's a lot of people out there that tongue is actually a delicacy. And there's a lot of people out there that would freak if I gave that to my dog. But if Howie doesn't like it, then I will finish slicing it up and I will dehydrate it for the dog. Doing a corned beef, have too much to do, not me too. Me too. I'm just going to throw some rotisserie chicken legs in the crock pot and with some carrots and potatoes, and I'll put beans on the side, and we'll all have carrots and potatoes and beans and stuff like that. I'm going to have fun this weekend. I am going to have fun this weekend. My sister's babysitting my dog on Saturday, not for the whole day, because I don't want her to have to walk her. Gracie has a final pee at night about 8:30, 9 o'clock, and she's up at 5 with me, 5:30 to go pee. So what's that? 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 8 hours. So we can very easily leave her at my sister's, like make sure she goes to the bathroom and all that stuff, and leave her with my sister for 5 hours, and my sister won't have to take her out. I'm in Kingston area, and they say between Kingston to Ottawa is to get the heaviest of snow. Well, we won't be taking the 401 or the 417, will we? Well, we'll probably, because the number 7. I don't want to take the number 7 for one reason. The number 7, there's a whole stretch where there's nothing but lakes and rocks and trees, and there's no friggin' cell reception. And I don't want to be going out in no snowstorm with no cell reception. Hey, Renegade, Becky, Joe, can't stay, gotta go to 2 hours of speech therapy. Okay, sweetheart, I love you. I'll email you later today, okay? So I've got to organize the stuff to go on the tree. I have to make myself some can of banana muffins. I have to make shortbread. I'm not going to make any snowballs. I'm just going to make whipped shortbread and then add them to the cookies. And they're going to have cookies. Split pea and ham. Ooh. I'm really glad your dad's already doing better. I mean, he's going to go through a wide assortment of emotions. Losing a limb, even a small one, like, it's losing a part of yourself, and that comes with emotional repercussions. So watch for the mood swings. Okay, Lacey Black? I ordered all kinds of coffee flavors and I had the salted caramel, and it was awesome. What's your tea today? Tea today, with a glue stick stuck to it, is honey linden. And I actually added some juice from the peach jar into it. And it's quite nice. Not as sweet as if I'd added honey, but nice. But, oh yeah, I'm going to roll. Let it roll. Doom, doo, 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 doom, doom. Down the highway. Sorry, I'm off key. So, see, this is wearing a t-shirt, and the edge, when my arm is down, the edge rubs this. So, you say you want a revolution. Well, we don't want to change the world. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Lemon and ginger tea. Awesome. Hey, Teresa, how are you? So today's going to be a little bit longer. I do have a lot of work today. I have to make whipped shortbread. I have to make can of banana bread. And I have to get the tree ready. So yeah, suppers. I was going to make stew today, but supper, I don't have time to fuss. It's just going to throw things in the crock pot. You changed my world. Who changed your world? Thank you, Marcy Joe. Anybody wants a song today, I'll sing at least a piece of it. Where is my machine? There is my machine. My desk is such a mess. It's the one thing you guys don't see is what a mess my desk is right now. Why? How? I'm not here to change anybody's life or world. It's not my job. What I am here to do is to make sure everybody knows they're loved. Period. Full stop. All right. Oh, that really hurts. It's not big. Oh, there's a hair in there. It's only about that big, and there's only a dot that big that's kind of been roughed up and hurting. Oh, Linda, you know better than anybody. I'm not always upbeat and happy. Bev, I got to run. Just wanted to pop in and say hi. Got to get one pup to the groomer, one to the vet, and my son to therapy. Wow, that's a busy day. All right, sweetheart. I love you. Mwah. Take care, Stephanie. Hey, Sam Dix. How's it going? What's my calling? Sing a small clip of your favorite Christmas song. Ooh, you sure you want to hear that? It's not the glow you feel when snow appears. It's not the Christmas card you've sent for years. I just got out of bed, guys. Not the joyful sound when sleigh bells ring, or the merry songs children sing. The little gift you send on Christmas Day will not bring back the friend you turned away. So may I suggest the secret of Christmas is not the things you do at Christmas time, but the Christmas things you do all year through. That's my favorite Christmas song. And I don't do it justice because Ella Fitzgerald sang that. It's called The Secret of Christmas, and it's one of my absolute favorites. I need to take my car into dealer. 2 lights came on. Better to have it checked out, and it's snowing. Well, be careful, okay? You know, you got to have an available and properly running vehicle, especially in bad weather. Oh, hell no. Let me go to buy a CD made by me, and nobody listens to this. Everything's digital now. I'll just sing for you guys once in a while, and we'll be all good. We'll be all right. We'll be all right. We'll be all right. Good morning, Julia. How are you? We haven't seen you in a couple of days. Is there any? I don't know nursery rhymes. I know songs my mother sang. Like the one with Gracie, Cheese or Mummy. Okay, the original song. That's pretty much the original song. I've just made it. There is one song that is for girls or boys. You just change a few words for boys, which I would do. Hang on a second. 2 cheeks just like a rose. And I'll be changing the words. A little turned up nose. To me he'll always be that little boy of mine. Two arms to hold me tight. 2 lips to kiss goodnight. To me he'll always be that little boy of mine. And when he grows up to sail the seven seas. Here's hope that he'll stop and think of me, as two arms to hold him tight, two lips to kiss goodnight. To me he'll always be that little boy of mine. There's a girl version too. How much is that doggy in the window? Ruff, ruff! God, I've forgotten a lot of them. My sister knows them all. My sister knows them all. Then there's the dream man's coming on the train tonight. Moonbeams for windows and the rails so white. So come along, my little ones, and scamper up the stairs. Put on your nighties and say your prayers. And all aboard for Dreamland on the Dreamland train. Shh, here comes the Dreamland. Shh. Here comes the dream man on the Dreamland train. Hey, Lola! Lola Granola! The chicken dola! My kids seem to remember me singing to them. I don't remember singing to my kids, but, you know, my cousin sent me a letter, okay? And I'm going to share a part of it with you. How about that? I'm going to share a part of this because we were writing back and forth. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Oh, come on, come on, come on, come on. There it is. I had written to her how important becoming a grandmother was to me. She said, I would have, if you could skywrite it when the baby's born, I bet you would. Right. And I said, the thing is, Deb, is like, she didn't have any grandmothers either. I said, you know, we were born before, you know, after our grandmothers passed, and my mom died when my sister was pregnant with the first grandchild. So being a grandmother's really hit and miss in my life. And so that's why it's always so important. What did she say? When it comes to grandmothers, I'm like you. I didn't have the privilege of having them or either of my grandfathers. Although I never met my grandparents, I heard so many stories about them, especially my grandmothers, and it made me want to know them more. And it's like I miss them, even though I never met them. You see, my mom died when I was 9, so I didn't get a whole lot of stories about my grandmother because she died before Wendy was born, right? So I will be happy to meet them in the promised land. My mom told me, see, I got to share this. I have fragments of my mother. And because she didn't live until I was older, I never heard the stories of my grandmother. I only had a few. Like when my mom would practice piano, and she'd sit at the piano and she'd do her scales and she'd practice her stuff. Her, you know, class stuff. And then all of a sudden, you know, nobody's in the room, so she's practicing the piano, and all of a sudden she'd slip in a bit of a boogie-woogie beat. And apparently my grandmother would go, Junie, you play that properly. My mother was a boogie-woogie girl, you know, boogie-woogie. So my mom told me that your mother was so good to her mom. See, I've never heard this before. She gave her all in helping her mom, scrubbing the floors for her, etc. Also in showing her love. My mom would get a kick out of her watching her displays of affection to her mother. She told me she was giving her mom she told me she was always giving her mom a great big hug and lots of kisses, telling her, I love you, Mom. That was your mom, always full of love. Oops, I'm getting sentimental. I want to go phone my grandchildren now. Excuse me. I've never heard these stories. The only story I can remember is the one at the piano, that one I just told you, and how when my mom fell in love with my dad when she was just 5 or 6 years old. And he was her older brother's best friend. They all grew up together on the same, like dad lived around the corner. And well, if I'm going to be a great grandmother, I've got 3 generations of grandmotherliness in me that I've got to let out. You feel me? But my dad would say, like his mom died when he was 8, my dad's mom. And my grandfather took to the drink quite a bit. And so it was my dad's older brother, who was 14 at the time, who looked after my dad the most and pretty much raised him. So when my Uncle Art died in the Second World War, it crushed my father. When his mother died when he was 8, it crushed my father. I don't know how my father survived some of this stuff. But he'd be out playing on the street with my mom's family, or my mom's brothers. There was, in his age range, was Uncle Bill, Uncle Jim, and Uncle Joel. But Uncle Bill and Uncle Jim were his, like, buds, right? But they were my mom's older brothers, so I'm blood related to them all, right? And I guess, my grandmother had like 15 kids. Not all of them lived, but she I think about 10 of them lived to adulthood. And, she'd see my dad out in the street running around playing tag and all that stuff with the boys, and she'd see a tear in his pants or something. She'd say, Bobby, you get in here right now. My grandmother on my mom's side would pull him in off the street, whip off his pants, give him a piece of bread and butter while she fixed his pants, put his pants back on, and threw him out, sent him back out to play. And I said, why? And he said, she had so many children that all children were hers. He said it was nothing to her for one more child to be looked after. And I heard that my grandmother on my mom's side called my father, who is not her son, her knight in shining armor. So I didn't have the privilege of knowing my dad's grandma, but she told me, that's why she told me I'm very much like her. She survived a hard life and even built her home while her husband was worked for other farmers. Well, I think so too, Revolution. Like, that's one thing I said yesterday. I said, if my kids don't watch my videos, my husband doesn't watch my videos, my family does not watch my videos. Why? Because it's, they don't need to. I'm a constant presence. If I'm not emailing my entire family twice a month, then I'm phoning them, or I'm writing them, or whatever the case may be. They don't need to watch my videos. But it's nice to know that if anything happens, when I pass, then my grandkids and my children and my husband, if Howie, I hope to God Howie survives me, because I don't think I could live without him. It would topple my world, because I wouldn't be able to keep this house. I wouldn't be able to live here. And this is the house he built. You know what I mean? So it's nice to know there'll be videos out there for them to say, there's your grandma. There's your grandma, right? So, I mean, maybe someday when I'm gone, my grandchildren or whatever will look at this video and go, wow, you know? Mm-hmm. Absolutely, Marcy Joe. Jane Marrow, hi. It's my favorite part about watching your YouTube channels. God has blessed you with a beautiful singing voice, and I love it when you share it with us. Oh, honey, so sweet of you. I used to have a beautiful singing voice before 26 years of smoking and chronic laryngitis and stuff, you know? So, yeah, I look at my YouTube videos as my own little slab of personal immortality, digital immortality. I thought all the videos on YouTube or Rumble or wherever are time capsules, more so when useful information. Absolutely. The only grandkid that met my dad was my oldest granddaughter, and we drove 1,100 miles to see him. Wow. You know what I love? Beautiful, Clark. That the what are you barking at now? I'm just going. Do you mind if we go a little past the 30 minutes? I know we're going to have a live tonight. Oh, you know what? We can't have a live tonight. Let's make this our Thursday live, okay? Is that okay? Because I realize we're going to be decorating the tree tonight. Is that okay with everybody? That's right. I have to pack. Thank you, Lola. I have to pack. I have to sort the things to decorate the tree, because if we don't decorate the tree tonight, we won't have Briar here to help us decorate it after the fact, right? Okay. All right. Well, let's just make this a full-on hour and a half live stream. How's that? Is Marisol here today? I'd push for 6 hours, but nobody honestly has that kind of time for lives. I know, eh? And people would just go, oh my God, she's talking about nothing. My son was 2 months old and my daughter a year and a half when we lost my husband. It sucks. Oh my God. Yeah, absolutely. That would suck. Somebody asked me something. Now I've forgotten what it was. It's all right. I'm not all here. I have to pack. I have to take out a couple of things out of the goodie gift box bag because some of them are staying here. I have to make whipped shortbread. Gotta do laundry. Organize the ornaments. I don't know. Let me write this down while I'm thinking of this before I smoke, okay? Because that's going to be a problem. What the hell is this? All right, let's make a list. Oh, excellent, Joanne. Excellent. I'm rearranging my canned stash of food. All right. Shortbread. I'm not even going to make snowballs because I said to Howie, I said, I wish you hadn't created such an expectation for the guys at work. I said, because I don't have this in me. And he goes, well, then don't do it. And I said, but you told them about the wonderful delights of the platters I make. So they're getting oatmeal cookies. I made these cookies. I started making chocolate chip cookies, and then I got the recipe completely done. And then I threw in a cup of Score Bits and Reese's Pieces. Shortbread. Decorations. I also have dishes to do, but that doesn't need to be written down because it's friggin' obvious. Pack. Organize treats. What else did I say I had to do? Nothing, I guess. But tonight we're like, by the time Howie and Briar get here and we finish supper, it's going to be like 8 o'clock. And so I'm wondering if I should get the lights on the tree, but I can't put my arms in the tree, right? I just can't. Laundry, thank you. I'll do that. As soon as I get off here, I'll put the laundry on. And anyway, let's not talk about what I have to do. But it was really nice to have this conversation with my cousin Debbie. It was, even an email, I don't think people realize. It's like when my parents' best friends, Marg and Al, they were at my wedding. But Marg and Al madly loved my mother. Now, yes, he loved his wife and he would never cheat on her or anything like that, but he loved my mother. Like, he couldn't even go into the funeral parlor where her casket was when she died, right? Now, why am I bringing this up? Marg and Al, they were at my wedding. And it's gone. Oh, right, Lori. Their youngest daughter, Lorena, was closer to my age. Cheryl was closer to Bob's, and their eldest daughter was closer to my brother Billy in age. And after her mom passed, like her dad passed, and then her mom went into a home, and she, there was no keeping Marg down. She'd probably make a social calendar of the home she was in and organize stuff. That's how Marg was. She was always on the ball and always full of enthusiasm and always ready to go on to the next, task or adventure. Anyway, she sent me some pictures. Oh, I still have them. Are they in the frame? They're not in the frame. She sent me some pictures as she was going through her mother's stuff after her mom passed. And there were pictures of my parents at their house, at Marg and Al's house, that I had never seen. And it was like a kick in the stomach, because you think you know all there is to know in your limited memory, and then somebody else adds something to it. So what I did is I went and made a copy of all those pictures and put them in like a 4-picture frame for my brothers and sisters, because they were pictures that we'd never seen before. You know what I mean? Those kind of things are really important. So it's really nice when someone else can add a piece of the puzzle of who somebody was that you loved and who had passed. Robin's Nest, that sounds like me. I'm here. So happy you got your beef. Oh my God. Yes. I was going to make stew today, and I just don't have the. And we had soup last night, so we're going to have, and Briar's coming, so I'm going to put 2 rotisserie chicken halves. I'm going to put a whole rotisserie chicken in. Hey, critter lover, just want to pop in real quick. Can't stay at work. That's why you miss you every day at this time. Well, I'm not going. Belly rubs for Gracie. Oh, we had those steaks night before last. We had soup last night. I'm not going to be on live tonight. That's why I'm going extra long today. I'm not going to be on live tonight because we have to decorate the tree. There is no time for a live tonight unless I do it at like 4 p.m. And between making shortbread, organizing decorations, and doing laundry and packing, I'm really just not going to have time. Will I can some meat? Well, this was a couple of years ago. And you know what's really weird? Is I sent one to all 3 of my brothers and one to my sister. My sister's the only one who commented on it. That was kind of weird. I don't know if I'm going to can some meat. I can't decorate live. This is the thing. I can't decorate live because Briar's helping. I am going to film it. I'm going to put the camera on a tripod. And Briar may consent to having his hand hang an ornament on the tree. He might, but he won't be in the video. And so it's kind of one of those things where I'm just going to have to work around it the best I can. But I cannot go live. I cannot go live decorating the tree. I could probably and just leave Briar's ornaments till after the live. But you know what I mean? It would be easier to go live. You know why? Because I wouldn't have to edit anything. I'd just do it. In the family tree. Anyway, okay, what did you say, Sherry? Sherry, I missed something there. You got to remember, folks, don't write too long of a statement or YouTube will just delete it. It's the family tree anyway. Right. And I mean, I don't always get Briar hair to decorate the tree. And Nan's not. This is one of the reasons I put up the little tree in the window last year, because I was decorating it myself. That's why we got a big tree this year, because I'm going to have help, right? Canned taco meat last night. Got to clean out the freezer. You got to save a personal tree. What do you mean you got to save a personal tree? I bought a rotating Christmas tree stand, so decorating is much easier now. How is it easy? Doesn't the light cord get tangled up when you plug it in when it rotates? It's the family tree. We've seen the other two decorated live. That's kind of what I mean, right? I will make a video of it, but then I got to edit that tonight. So I'll think about it. I'll think about it. It is better to have the family decorate the tree. And Briar said they're not putting a tree up at his and Sunshine's apartment because they'll be going home for Christmas, right? Briar said, Mom, as long as you and Dad are alive, I'm going to have Christmas with you guys. He said, so I'll bring my ornaments, because I've made him a tree a couple of years. And I give him an ornament every year. And he said, I'll bring my little guitars. Like I bought him guitar ornaments and stuff. And he said, and I'll put them on your tree. And he said, and I'll just take them back when you croak. No, it plugs in on the base of the tree stand. Doesn't tangle. Wow. Well, that means there would be no video for tomorrow maybe what I'll do is we'll decorate the tree and I'll get a couple of snaps of us, but I'll show you the finished product mostly. Okay. It's not going to be a long video. It's going to be, here's how we bringing in the tree. Here's how we putting the lights on. Here's us putting ornaments on. Here's how it looks when it's done. Hey, Lazarek. I know. Last year they had Christmas shirts on at Giant Tiger. And this year they had Christmas shirts, different ones, on at Giant Tiger. So I have enough Christmas shirts, except for yesterday because I had to wear one with the sleeve because of the burn on my arm. That is not green pus. That is a piece of aloe vera. And I actually have comfrey, but I wouldn't put that on a burn. So I have enough shirts. That's why I'm going to do laundry. I have enough Christmas shirts. I have 2 red ones, 2 green ones, a navy blue one. I think I have 2 black ones. I've got my Bah Humbug shirt and my Santa Speedy Delivery shirt. So I'm going to wash those all, make sure they're all, I've got them. Like we do laundry. For 2 people who feel more comfortable walking around in their PJs, we make a lot of laundry. I am gonna enjoy my time decorating with Briar, and I will edit him out. I will edit him out. I'll just run the camera the whole time and I'll edit him out. Right? You got to see the Foley family Christmas tree. You got to see us decorate the Foley family Christmas tree, especially when it's a big one. Joy to the world. My luck. Can you ever have enough Christmas shirts? Well, they do. I did find a mouse nest in my dresser with all last year's Christmas shirts because I put them away for the summer, right? It's the chore. It's the chore that never ends. It goes on and on, my friend. I don't know how that tune goes. No, I'm not going to erase him. I'm going to take a few shots, up close shots with my phone of him, his hand, putting his. I'm going to take his Toronto Maple Leafs gnome off the dining room tree, and so he can put it on the regular tree. I love mine. Turn it on when the sun is shining. Turn off the lights and let the ornaments show their bling. Do you know what I used to? Oh, you know what? This is one of the things that really upset me the most. Like when we first went bankrupt, it was like, it wasn't good enough that we had to go bankrupt. It was, I had to have puppies the day we went bankrupt. And the house we moved into, the basement flooded and ruined all my ornaments. I used to have an entire collection of ornamotions. Does anybody remember Hallmark ornamotions? They were ornaments that you plugged into a light, into a mini light, and they rotated. And I got a new one every year. I had about 10 of them. And I would put garland up, right? The pine garland, and I would put lights on it, and I would, over like a window, and I would put ornamotions on it, or I would make sure I had a really good tree with lots of gaps, and I would put my ornamotions in the tree. They were all destroyed. I forgot all about those. Isn't that funny? See, I knew I wasn't crazy when I said I wanted a Lazy Susan for my tree. That let it light up too. How fun. You know what? I'm going to have to check into this rotating tree stand. You can put a real tree in it and it will rotate. So the plug for the entire tree must come into the bottom of the stand, and then the plug for the lights go into the top of the stand. So yeah, I get hubby National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation ornaments from Hallmark each year. He has about 10. Well, did you see Angie's tree? Angie's tree is all white and blue and silver from Toronto Maple Leafs. I never did get pictures of that. I'm going to have to show Briar the video clip. But I haven't had those in years. I actually used to order ever since we went to Michigan, and I went to Brenner, Brennan's Christmas World or whatever it's called in Michigan. I think it's in Michigan. Anyway, and I bought ornaments there, and I would order from them every year. And I ordered cat ornaments for my grandkitties, my Arthur and Mel's cats, but they, some of them got broke. And I have the moose punch bowl and the cups. Really, Becky? Thank you. Thank you, Elaine. While listening, I put my chicken soup on. Now that's for dinner. We're having rotisserie chicken for supper. With roast potatoes. I got a Clark Griswold stocking and fleece blanket this year too. Oh my God. Mine is always jammed in a corner. Well, we put ours right in front of the window because I would like to be able to see. That's one of the reasons I put the small tree in the window so that you could see it as you're coming up the driveway or driving by. But in front of the bay window, you don't really see it. Bronner, yes, in Michigan. We have a Clark Griswold blow up for outside when he's getting fried. Really? Oh, that's awesome. Frankenmuth. Yes, I loved that trip. I had a blast. And somebody actually recognized me while I was at Bronner's Christmas World. And I had to get my picture taken with them and their family. It's like, Mrs. Wolfie, and I went, "Hello." It's only happened like 4 times in my entire life, like in my entire time on YouTube, where I've been in like Costco and somebody's recognized me, where I've been in when we were buying flooring, I had somebody, the guy who was delivering bringing our load out for our truck of the flooring. He recognized us, right? I mean, it's really odd when someone, you're used to hearing Bev, right? But when you hear Mrs. Wolfie, I go, who's calling my name? It's like totally out of the blue, like who knows me, right? You grew up 30 minutes from there. I'm not famous, Lola. I really wish we could post our trees here. We'll do it on the Connected Hearts Facebook page. Post your trees there. We'll all love to see them. I threw in a corned beef with the snow. I have no idea when everyone is getting home. Why would you throw corned beef in the snow? I love that place. We spent most of the day in there, spent too much money. It was stop on our long drive 2 summers ago. Well, I tell you, Natalie, you know the entrance when you're going out the exit and they have the 12-foot high nutcrackers and all that stuff? And Howie's looking at them going, I'm going, it wouldn't fit in our yard. And Howie goes, I could make it fit. And I'm looking at him going, and it's dawned, you know what just dawned on me? Howie likes Christmas. I had no idea. Judging from the fact that I've gotten garbage cans, not once, not twice, but 3 times. And the 3rd time was one I made him buy. But considering that he's gotten me garbage cans, 3 years out of 5 for Christmas gifts, I always thought he just couldn't stand Christmas. But when I started to take the Christmas he loves away, hence the big tree, he got pissy. You know what? He's a closet Christmas junkie. So I told him about the coffee pot. You had to leave what horrible thing? I don't have I'd like to leave Facebook too, but I got too many connections on there. I wish everybody would come over to Gab and be on Gab. You can make a Gab account. I mean, whoops. You're going to have to deal with shit, I just lost my thing. You'd have to deal with people's opinions because it's uncensored. But I'm starting a Connected Hearts group, or I tried to start a Connected Hearts group on Gab. Excuse me, guys. My nose is still running from being emotional earlier. Oh. All right, I got to get back to my video. And I forgot what I was saying. Squirrel! Okay, let me get back here. Where are you going to put a tree that big? Bend over and I'll show ya. You got a lot of nerve saying that to me, Griswold. I wasn't talking to you. Right? Talk about Christmas junkie. We're probably going to watch that movie tonight. Or probably, no, we're not. Shit. We're not going to have time. And Briar, yeah. Anyway, we're constantly quoting that movie, but usually it starts in the fall. You know what I mean? Like, what's one of our, why's the carpet all wet, Todd? I don't know, Margot. So every once in a while I'll say, well, Howie, how did this happen? And he'll say, I don't know, Margot. Right? And Briar's favorite is when he's going to fall. I'm sure he'll fall off the ladder, but I don't think we'll get lucky enough to have him break his neck. And Todd goes, let's go. It's like a let's go kind of tone, but Briar has it perfect. Let's go. Got a little knot there. You work on that, Russ. Okay, so we all understand. We all understand National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. Okay. It's hard to believe that Chevy Chase is like an old man, a really old man now. You know what I mean? I know. I only care about lights, and I have a boatload of wood chicken ornaments that I have yet to put up. So is my brother, Mr. Grumpy Angel, I call him. Last year, hubby had it on every night for a month. Of the movie? Oh, even I'm not that. Even yeah, he's a closet Christmas lover. Yeah, exactly. Now, I have a legal question. I don't know. Is there any Canadians here who know anything about tax? Because Howie, I paid for that torque converter. And I paid for the slicks on his tire, or the tires on his car. And although I don't think he paid cash for those, so I don't think we're going to get it. But he's going to get a receipt for the torque converter and the transmission and all that stuff, because I've paid for that. And I told him, get a receipt. And then you write me a receipt and I will write it off as advertising, because I'm getting stickers. I'm getting Life with the Wolfies at YouTube on the hood, and Our Half Acre Homestead at YouTube on the trunk. And that's my sponsorship. And that's advertising. So I should be able to claim that under advertising, right? Like, does that make sense? It's YouTube content. It would be deductible and advertising. Yeah. Because so I told him he's got to buy me he's got to have my stickers made next week. Ooh, that might be. Yeah, January is coming up really quick. So I'm going to have to design them and then send the picture in with Howie and say, I want these done before January 1st. So I like big trees, right? But I can't get up on a ladder to decorate. And Howie accidentally broke the long tall piece off the top, which is fine because I can actually reach the tree. I'd like to put the lights on for them, but I think Howie kind of hesitated when I offered, so I think he really wants to do it. Sure, Lazarek. Absolutely email me at connectedheartsfamily@gmail.com. I like big trees and I cannot lie. Yeah, exactly. This is Raph's Holiday Spice Soap Wrapper. That's what's in our bathroom right now. Did taxes for years. Okay. Well, I was going to buy a computer, but I can't afford to now because of a mix-up with my Bell account. I got a bill yesterday for almost $1,500 from Bell Canada, and I just about had kittens. And so I got off the phone from Angie and I phoned them, and God bless, this kid sounded no more than 12 or 13 years old, but he handled me well because I was a lunatic. Like when we got all the Bell TV, Bell 5, internet, Bell Mobile, all that, we got it all on one bill. And so last month I got a bill, and they had told me with all of these, you know how it takes like an hour to set everything up on the phone. They told me that there were certain things that were going to be free at the start for the first month. All the installation fees were free and all that stuff. So, and they sent us a label to send back our old equipment, and pardon me. So I phone them and I go, because I got a bill in November for $197. And I thought my bill's supposed to be $350 roughly, $348 and change. And the $197, well, I guess that's all the free stuff they were talking about. Well, apparently the first billing cycle of Bell One bill doesn't add the mobility on. So I never paid my Bell mobility for November or December. And I said, how does that still add up to $1,500? He said, well, we haven't received the old equipment back. And that was $800 and some dollars. I said, you're shitting me, right? I said, I sent that back over a week ago. He said, I see that. We have it. We'll deduct it. So my Bell bill for the end of the month is $662 because I'm paying my full household bill for 1 month, which is $197, and then $300 in Bell mobility charges for 2 months. And then the taxes on that. So it's like, there goes the other half of my computer. So there is software you can download on your phone. So I'm like, okay. And so anyway, at the very end, and he was really calm. You could hear his voice shake, but he was really calm. And he said, and when it was all organized, he explained everything to me. Because I was not pleasant. I said, can you tell me how the my bill went from $197 to $1,500 in 1 month? Please explain that to me. Right. So he broke it all down for me and he took charges off and all that stuff. And then at the very end, he said, you know, is there anything else I can help you with? I said, no, thank you very much. You did an amazing job. He said, he said, can I ask you a couple of review questions? Because they record it. And I said, sure. And he said, were you pleased with your service today? And I knew his boss was going to listen to the recording, right? Because they have to ask. I said, honey, you took an absolutely crazy woman who was yelling at you and explained everything so that I could understand it. And you never once raised your voice. You're amazing. You did an amazing job. And he started laughing. And I said, how many people do you get like me a day? And he said, you know what? He said, once you realize that if you can get them to listen, if you can get people to listen, that you'll explain it, you know? And he said, it's all good. Right. And he said, thanks, Bev. Called me Bev. Well, I have Bell 5. I have Bell 5 TV. I have Bell 5 home phone, which I don't even have a phone yet. Ooh, I'll order one from Amazon. And I have internet, TV, home phone, and mobile. 2 phones on the mobile. So that's $348 a month. Now think about this. When I first started YouTube, I was on Pickanock, which is Wi-Fi, which was slightly better than dial-up. And I went from Pickanock to ExploreNet. I kept upgrading as it came available in my no man's land out here. And then they brought in Bell Wi-Fi, and I went back to the Demon Bell. I called them the Demon Bell because I'd never have anything to do with them again. But I said, Howie said, Bev, the moment they bring good internet, you'll be there. I said, yeah, I get that. Right. So they brought Bell Wi-Fi in, and I got Bell Wi-Fi for my TV. Now, listen, my internet then, my internet and my TV then was $225 a month just for my internet and TV. And my mobility was $350 a month. So I was paying $600 a month for my phones and my television and my internet. Now I have Bell 5, and it's $347 a month for both phones, kick-ass television, and kick-ass internet. And I bought the slow package. You know what, though? The internet and the mobile phones are tax deductible because I live stream from my phone. And it's a part, I have to have it in order to continue to upgrade my content in quality, right? It's like the computer. These are all tools I absolutely need. It's just the way it is, right? Hey, Willows. Well, that's the thing, right? That's the thing. I've gone from $600 a month over in the last 2 years down to $347 a month. I think a savings of $250 is pretty good, right? So I'm not worried about it. I'm really not worried about it. And I can't, if it looks like I'm not looking at you, it's because I'm looking at myself so I can see my facial expressions. Like I see myself, but I'm not looking here. So I'm going to try and look in that little black dot so I can say, so you can get eye contact. That's a problem I have when I film with the phone. No worries, Lacey. We're making this a long tea break today because I'm not going to be able to go live tonight. You're only late when you see the replay. Absolutely, Freaky. Absolutely. I could never, 25 for my phone and internet, which is 120. Well, my internet, listen, I get home phone, 2 mobilities, unlimited high-speed internet, and television for $350. I know it sounds like a lot, but not when you live in the middle of nowhere. When you live in the middle of nowhere and you start with dial-up, this is the natural conclusion, right? The tea of the day is honey linden. And I put some, we opened a big jar of peaches the other night. And we opened a big jar of peaches and I poured some of the peach juice because we don't eat all of the peaches in those. It's like a 3-quart jug of peaches, but I poured some of the peach juice rather than honey on it. Dial up. I don't miss those days. I mean, do you realize that there's kids using the internet now and cell phones and tablets and shit that have no idea how hard it was when your monitor was as big and square as this and you had to find room for it on your desk. Like, seriously. And nobody's ever going to remember, just us old farts are going to remember that. I like linden tea. Oi, the noise. Well, the reason they put that noise in there deliberately, They put that noise in there deliberately because people couldn't tell if their computer was actually starting up or not. Or connecting to the they couldn't tell if it was connecting to the internet. Because remember, you had to turn your computer on and then connect it. And that's something else. Now we just turn it on, it's all connected. The tangle. It's the tangle. Only 27 likes and 95 watching. Don't worry about it, Dolores. Hey, CB Canner. I used to have dial-up and it was so slow. When we first moved here, we got 2 lines in the house. One just for my computer and one for the home phone. And 9 times out of 10, Howie would dial up on the home phone line and I would dial up on the line I had just for my computer. That's going back. There's learning games that my grandkids know how to open, and they are 3 and 5. Open online. I know. It's a whole new world, right? I look at things. I look at, like, yes, Virginia, there is a Santa Claus, right? And I look at their homes, and their love seat was hardwood, and they had one comfortable chair, and their entertainment was the newspaper, if they could afford it. There were no radios or TVs or anything like that, And then the wireless came out, and then radio. Everybody could afford a radio. And then televisions came out, and now the internet. I mean, how far life has come in my 58 years. I remember our first TV was a real old one. It had the tube and then a glass sheet over it so you didn't accidentally break the television tube. The whole TV part was one big tube, and it had glass tubes in the back. And when you turn it on, it'd go bong. You know what I mean? I mean, that was television when I was a kid. I mean, the biggest thing in our life was when we bought a color TV, and Dad put he built a special shelf in the bedroom and put the black and white TV up in their bedroom. 2 TVs in our house. Watch silent movies in black and white. Yeah. It doesn't matter the age of the child, they will always want or need something. That's true. We called it the clicker at my grandpa's because it actually clicked. 1986, and the computer programming was just getting going. I graduated in 1982. And there was no, it was mostly word processing. It was pretty much it. I remember looking when I was taking typing and looking at the keyboard going, what is this symbol? The @ symbol. And they go, I don't know. You know, nobody knew, right? I'm sure that we now know what all of these things are on our keyboards now. But there was a time when the @ symbol was like, what the hell is that? That was before the internet, right? 1971, Margaret. Wow. And I'll never forget when my dad got a remote for the TV. I'll never forget. First, we got cable. Do you remember life before cable in Toronto? And then we got cable when we got the color TV, and then Dad got cable. Because I was always the one, you know, the channel turner was actually a knob, right? And we had UHF and VHF and rabbit ears. And then when we got the color TV, we got cable. And I'll never forget my dad running that wire in this big box. Don't fall down. Please don't fall down. Please don't fall down. The cable box was this big. And it had a row of buttons across the top, and it had a switch here that would go from one level, and you had a row of buttons, and on top, above the buttons was one set of channels, and below the buttons was the other, and you had to throw the switch back and forth to go to change more than 20 channels. And my dad would sit there and go, pop, 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 going through all the channels. And you know what? He never stopped, even when he got a satellite dish. In 4 years' time. I mean, and you know what? Everything's wonderful. All this new technology that's always moving forward is wonderful, but it's starting to get scary. But I mean, that's just because I'm getting old, right? You would sneak out to watch HBO after dark. The old foil rabbit ears. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. But we have our TV and a wire running the length of the house and 3 channels. You have or had. And when we moved to Apsley, we couldn't take our color TV with us. We couldn't take anything, a lot of stuff with us. We ended up with our beds, dressers, table and chairs. That was pretty much it. And we had a little black and white TV someone gave us. But Dad had a good stereo, though. He had a Pioneer stereo, because music, you know, and news was something my dad had to have. But I mean, I'll never forget, it was Thanksgiving, and Arthur was like 7 months old. And my eldest brother and his daughter were there for Thanksgiving. And this was in Apsley, and my sister lived in Peterborough, but they had gone to Toronto for Thanksgiving. So apparently, everybody in the entire neighborhood put their ovens on at the same time, and we had a blackout. So the turkey was stuffed, and my dad didn't like the idea of the turkey waiting for the power to come back on because it was stuffed. He had a little funny thing about how long a turkey should sit when there's something inside it, and I think he put egg in the stuffing. So my brother wrapped the roasting pan, drove to Peterborough, like phoned my sister and said, I need to cook the turkey in your oven, right? And so she said, this, this is how you get into the house. She told him how to get into the house through a window. And he went in through the window with the turkey, cooked the turkey at my sister's house. And by the time he got back home, the power was on. The power was on and we had cooked all the vegetables, right? It was one of those Thanksgivings. I remember because and Arthur got real food not real food, but he got like mashed potatoes. I stopped giving him baby food. He was eating mashed potatoes and turnips and chewing on a turkey bone, turkey thing, right? So the power, my dad, we were all after dinner, we were all in like turkey coma and pumpkin pie belly and all that stuff. We're all like, eh. And of course my father is sitting there. Now this is like 20 years or 15 years after we'd gone from tube TV to floor model color TV. And now Dad had a satellite dish, one of them great big things way up on the hill, not the black mesh ones, the big ones. And he would have to, it would have to like rotate and all that stuff, right? Because we only got 3 channels up there. No, we got 2, global and Czechs. That was all we got. And so my father, remember the remote box I was telling you about? He never lost the habit of flicking through the channels. Piss on the TV guide. My father would flick through the channels. Anyway, we're all in a turkey pumpkin pie coma, and Dad's flicking through the channels on the TV. And my niece looked at him and said, Are you actually going to watch something, Granddad? And he looked at her and he goes, watch this. He looked at her and said, watch this. And he took the remote and he pointed it at the TV and the power went out. And she looked over at him and she went, and? I'll never forget it as long as I live. We had a black and white television and Dad had to watch the news while the 9 of us ate dinner in silence. One day Mom yelled at him about this habit and the TV disappeared from our dinner table. Oh no, we couldn't have it at the dinner table. You didn't have the TV on during dinner. And that drives me nuts. Except now we eat in front of the TV, right? But when we have family here, right? When it's just us, we can pause whatever we're watching and talk. That's pausing shows that we watch. Isn't that wild? Or pre-recording stuff. Holy crap, do you remember when VCRs became buyable to the general public? $375. I mean, industry changes. There's no video stores anymore. Blockbuster's gone, I think, as far as I know. And I mean, that's how fast things change. When we had our mobile home in Arizona for 3 years that we would go on vacation at, we would go to Blockbuster all the time. That wasn't that friggin' long ago. Things are just, My dad had the guide delivered and still flipped the channels. Yeah, we had the TV guide. He continued to flip the channels. Wow, 1989. I had a VCR for Christmas one year. It did not last long. One of my favorite stories you've ever told is the first time you dispatched a chicken and pulling out the vocal cord. Has anybody not heard? Put your hand up if you've not heard the story about the first chicken I ever gutted. We still have Red Box on every corner, but not sure why. What's Red Box? VHS. Channel surfing. Yeah, we now internet surf. So you've never heard the story. I'm pretty sure everyone remember the Laserdisc movies. Oh my God. Yes. They were like the size of an album. A long play album. There's something else the younger generation don't. Well, no, those are coming back, I think. Oh my God. When we first moved to Colburn, my landlord said I could have laying hens. So I got 10 laying hens because it was cheaper than 6, right? And I had this one chicken that they were all laying. I was getting 8 eggs a day, and there was one chicken that was getting fat, but she wasn't laying. And I looked at her and I said, and her name was Gert. I said, you've got till Sunday to lay an egg. And Sunday came and I only got 8 eggs. So I phoned my Aunt Jane. I told Howie, cut the head off this chicken. And then I phoned my Aunt Jane and said, okay, what do I do? And she said, well, you cut around the vent, and then you stick your hand in and you pull all the guts out. Try not to, when you cut around the vent, be very careful not to cut the intestines. But she said, now I know you just cut, right? And she said, pull it all out and then cut the vent and all the stuff off. She forgot to tell me to take out the crop. The crop is, for anybody who doesn't have chickens, the crop is a place, it's like a pouch in their throat. And because they don't have teeth, so they can't chew their grain. So they have to pick up gravel from the ground. That's why if you have chickens in cages, you have to give them a mash rather than actual grain. And the crop holds rocks, little rocks. And when they eat the grain, it goes down into the crop and it grinds it all up. And the crop, the gizzard is what holds all the husks from the grain and stuff. But anyway, if you don't take out the crop, you don't take out the vocal cords. Okay? So here I am. I got kitchen rubber gloves onto here. I've smoked 3 cigarettes looking at this chicken. I've got my table covered in newspaper. And then she told me to put it in cold. She said, once you've plucked it, and I plucked it dry. I didn't know about scalding. It had all these pin hairs on it that it looked weird. And she said, and then when you pluck it, put it in cold water. You don't want to stick your hand into a warm chicken. She said, it's nasty. So all that done, I smoked 3 cigarettes and looked at the chicken on the table, and I got out my sharpest paring knife and I went and cut around the vent. And I stuck my bright yellow rubber glove hand up that chicken, and it went, ah! And that chicken dropped so fast. And I ran out the front door because my phone was a plug-in phone sitting by my front door, but it had a long cord. And I grabbed my cigarettes and that phone. I went outside and slammed the door and phoned my Aunt Jane. And she said, well, you didn't take out the crop, I take it. And I said, what do you mean? And she started laughing. She started laughing hilariously. I said, is it still alive? How could it be alive? It didn't have a head. But when something dead makes a noise like that, a chicken noise, you're going to think it's alive. You just stuck your hand up its ass. It's going to crow. If it's alive, it's going to freak. Like your brain doesn't process that it's dead when you hear a live noise. So she laughed so hard. And then she told me, you forgot to take out the crop and the vocal cord that comes out with the crop. I said, you never told me about that. And then she roared laughing again. And to this day, I honestly think my Aunt Jane, God love you, Aunt Jane. She died in, I believe it was 1999. We lost a lot of people in 98, 99, and 2000. A lot of elders in our family went in those 3 years. But I honestly think to this day, this is why I didn't put it on. This is why I didn't put it on Twitter, because Twitter seems to have all of. Hang on a second. There we go. Twitter brings out the worst trolls. I've never seen it myself, but I've heard the body runs around for a bit right after losing the head. So why not speak hours later? Well, the truth is one of the reasons when they would cut people's heads off that they would put a blindfold on them or a hood over their head. Do you know why? Because when your head falls into the basket, it hasn't figured out that it's, and the crowds that were watching didn't want to see the mouth moving and the eyes blinking. Right? First time I butchered chickens, because I always sent them out to a processing plant, and I'd never do that again. The place smelled of bleach and death and fear. First time I did it, my friend Evelyn came over. She said, I'll help you butcher them. She said, I'll do it for a couple of the chickens. There was 10 of them. She said, I said, I'll give you 2 of the chickens. And I said, because I told her the story of the first chicken, right? And no, there were no eggs inside Gert, so she wasn't laying. Well, no, yes, it's true. So I was cutting the heads off the chickens, and I was scalding them and plucking them, and she was gutting them, and she was bringing out eggs and everything, right? And, excuse me, one of my pierced ear holes had water in it or something. But she held it on the chopping block, or I put it on the chopping block. Off came the head, and I dropped it, and it got up and walked away 3 steps before it fell over. And the mouth was doing this on the ground. Was culling birds, and one laid an egg. I had one rooster, called him Runt, ran for over 10 minutes. Oh my God, eh? When we do it now, Howie uses a kill comb. He took an old small road thing. I forget what it was, small pylon, and he just nailed it to a tree. My ex hung them on the clothesline till they were done dripping. Then he handed them to me for the rest of the process. Sneaking in for work. Hey, Kim, how's it going? I know, but I mean, when we moved up here and we started to homestead, we made sure that our animals were treated with love and respect and dignity right up to the moment they died. And then they got a whole different kind of love and respect, because I love my meat next to the potatoes and gravy. You know what I mean? Yeah, traffic cone. Yeah, and so there you go. Listen, guys, it's been almost an hour and a half. And I have a lot of work to do today. But thanks for being here. And if you're watching this after the fact, there is no live stream tonight because we're decorating our tree. Unless Howie says, let's just decorate it when we get home. Then there will be a live stream. But I want to decorate it tonight because Briar's going to be here for it. All right? Take care. God bless. And I will see you guys tomorrow morning, roughly around the same time, somewhere between 10 and noon. It depends on if I can get up at 9 and get things right. Gracie got me up at 9 this morning to go pee. She shivers when she's got to go. All right, guys, I love you. What did I say I was going to buy on Amazon? Remember I said, ooh, I'll get that on Amazon. What did I say? I'm going to have to go back and look at my own video. Thank you. The weather's supposed to turn quite shitty where we're going. So we're going to do our absolute best. A telephone. Thank you, Gigi. Thank you. I love you guys. Take care. God bless. And remember, so may I suggest the secret of Christmas is not the things you do at Christmas time, but the Christmas things you do all year through. Take care. God bless.